My name is Mark Masters, and we have a company called Chloeta Fire LLC. We launched in fall of 2009, and our core competency is wildland fire management. So we do a number of things, but really what we like to hang our hat on is wildland fire suppression. So basically we provide high quality apparatus, firefighting equipment and personnel to federal agencies in times of need. I knew what I wanted to do my entire life, which is kind of uncommon, I know, but I always wanted to be a wildland firefighter, and so I had the opportunity to do that for about 8.5 years once I graduated high school, throughout college, and then for a few years beyond. And I kind of worked for several different agencies, actually all 5 federal land management agencies, and several different levels, and just kind of progressed through the ranks in wildland fire management as a federal employee. In the last position I had, I was an employee of the National Interagency Fire Center out of Boise, Idaho, for the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and I started to get a little bit more familiar with the administrative side of things and understand how the administrative side of fire actually worked. And unfortunately, there were not a lot of job opportunities for me in Oklahoma in my industry, like there might be in other parts of the U.S., for example, the western U.S. So, and some other family factors as well. Just felt like it was time to do what I thought that I would never consider doing, but leave the agency full time and move back to Oklahoma and venture out into the private sector and try to start up a business. Service that we probably take most pride in is providing high quality emergency response resources to the federal government. So what that means specifically is, let's say there's a fire burning somewhere in the U.S. and public sector resources, whether it be federal, state, tribal or local municipal government, are exhausted, then increasingly there's a need for some federal agencies to rely upon private contractors, and that's where we come in. We answer the call when catastrophic wildfires occur, and our crews respond anywhere in the U.S. Are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to respond to wildfires and other emergencies as well, but primarily wildfires, to go out and do a number of duties to work alongside federal and other public sector firefighters in extinguishing wildfires, protecting homes, and protecting lives and property. From a firefighting standpoint, all of our qualifications are administered, and our entire qualification system is administered by the National Wildfire Coordinating Group, and so there's actually a national standard. And then we're actually a member of a trade organization known as the National Wildfire Suppression Association, and that has allowed us to operate under an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with the U.S. Forest Service, to be able to provide NWCG accredited, federally accredited training to our own firefighters as well as of other agencies, and also to maintain their qualifications for a nationwide response. We do a number of other things, though. Training is really huge for us. We're constantly training internally here our own employees, providing different types of wildland firefighting and instant command and leadership training for them. Then we also go out and provide that training contracted to a number of entities and organizations across the state and really across the U.S. There are other things that we do that are not wildfire related in the off season, but that's what everyone pictures as the big flames, the big wildfires. But we do a number of other things. We do a lot of forestry work. We do a lot of mitigation, working with homeowners and homeowners associations and insurance companies to help homeowners understand how to make their homes more defensible in case of a wildfire, and actually going in and completing projects to make them more defensible. Firefighters actually going in with chainsaws and cutting down brush and trees around home. And that's a common service we provide. So there are a lot of other things that we do that are on the periphery of the actual firefighting, like any firefighters, but the training is definitely a key component of it. There aren't a high number of companies in the U.S. that do exactly what we do. There are approximately 200 companies across the U.S. Market research has indicated that do some of what we do, provide some of the services that we do, but there are actually only about 2 or 3 companies that provide the full complement of services. They are nearly exactly the same as what we do, and those are located on the West Coast, of course. The prime type of employee that we like to recruit is someone who has a solid agency background first, prior to coming to work for us. Typically those people who've worked on an interagency hotshot crew as a smoke jumper or a heli-rappeller for the Forest Service or one of the other land management agencies. And so typically those folks, and that's what I used to do as well, is be a heli-rappeller, but those folks typically have a higher level of training, experience, physical fitness, etc., than you would find commonly among the ranks of all wildland firefighters. And so We love to recruit and retain those type of folks, which we do a lot of in the winter months, October to April. Seasonal housing set up here in Oklahoma City for them, and we'll bring those types of individuals in for the fire season while they're on furlough from their agency firefighting jobs, which typically run through the summer months in the western U.S. And it's really a win-win for them, because as opposed to being on furlough for 3 to 6 months out of the year in the winter, they get to come down to the south, central, southeastern U.S. and develop their qualifications and learn how to fight fire in a new fuel types, new vegetation, and just learn a different kind of operation. So the name of our company is Chloeta Fire, and basically where that word is derived from, it's of Cherokee origin. There's actually a small community in northeast Oklahoma that is referred to as Chloeta. That's not too far at all from where I'm from. So when I was trying to find something to name the business, I wanted something that was identifiably Oklahoman and identifiably Native American, because, as I mentioned, our crews work all over the U.S. and it's a good conversation topic. From a branding standpoint, it's worked really well for us. But just, when the crews are in the field, folks want to come up and ask them, who are you guys? What are you doing? And it's an opportunity for, and the name is so unique that it's a good opportunity for our personnel to say, hey, we're from Oklahoma. We're proud, Okies, and or a number of our employees, probably around, I'm not sure where we're at right now, probably 55% or so. Probably about 55% of our employees are Native American. So it's a good opportunity to just tell the public, hey, we're proudly from Oklahoma, and most of our employees are Native as well. The way that we became familiar with the Business Development Center was through the Small Business Administration, SBA, Emerging 200, E200 initiative, which we were actually we actually participated in 2010. And that was a phenomenal opportunity for us. That really opened a lot of doors, one of which was the ability to meet Greg Keeson here at the Business Development Center, whose expertise and career experience and background dovetailed nicely with a lot of the needs that we had in terms of needs for financial consulting assistance. We probably became a BDC client in mid-spring of 2010, and then by June we decided that we definitely needed to expand our operation to include an office here at the Business Incubator, just because of the resources that were available here that we were in need of. As a client of the BDC, we try to take advantage of all the resources that are available to us. Of course, the first is the tax incentives, by virtue of the state legislature, which is a big help to us, as well as just, the opportunity to office out of a very high quality, technologically advanced, new modern facility. That was a big selling point for us, to be able to have access to conference rooms and just office and IT equipment, and just nice facilities that when you're a broke shoestring entrepreneur just starting out, that obviously you do not have a lot of people don't have the financial means to afford. But just because you can't afford those types of facilities doesn't mean that you don't need them to professionally operate your business. Some of the other resources, probably the number one resource that we take advantage of here, is just the consulting opportunity and the networking. The personnel here, the Moore Norman Technology Center personnel at the BDC, are just phenomenal in terms of the support that they give us, in terms of the advice and consulting that we get, professional business consulting and advice, as well as the ability to reach out to individuals within their business networks to find the solutions that we're looking for as problems arise in managing our business. We've experienced approximately 1,100% growth each of the 2 years that we've been here at the incubator. So we're up to a position now where we've got about 83 employees, and we're conducting operations throughout the entire lower 48 on multiple multi-year federal contracts. Essentially when we started out as an incubator inhabitant in spring to summer of 2010, we were essentially still in the idea phase of the business. We had just started to garner a few federal multi-year contracts, but really hardly any, and we really had not yet begun to operate under those. So to be honest with you, we were a true startup business, a startup business in the truest sense of the word, because we were literally just starting to get our operations going and get our feet under us. From that time until now, fast forward, we've just experienced phenomenal growth, and a lot of that is due, I would say a vast majority of the success and growth we've experienced has been or could be attributed to us being housed here at the Incubator. We won numerous awards. We've won, of course, we participate in the SBA Emerging 200 initiative, like I explained to you a bit ago, but we also were named the 2011 Journal Record Oklahoma one of the Innovators of the Year. We also won from the American Indian Chamber of Commerce of Oklahoma 2011 Small Business of the Year, and then of course more recently from the Small Business Administration first Oklahoma Young Entrepreneur of the Year, followed up by the National Award, National Young Entrepreneur of the Year from the SBA. In the short run here, what we're trying to do is continue to refine the infrastructure so that as we grow, once we leave the incubator, that we're stable and we're consistent in that growth, and maintaining the long-term viability of the company. And then just long-term, I mean, for the company, obviously our objective is we pride ourselves on being the best within our industry by far, and that can be a struggle sometimes when you are in the midst of phenomenal growth percentages and hiring and receiving new contracts and purchasing new equipment. It's just it's mind-numbing how quickly this has all happened for us. But at the end of the day, we just want to ensure that we're the best out there, and that our people are the most committed. They enjoy working for the company, through the good times and the hardships, and that that we're a family around here, and that we take care of them, and that we're around here to take care of folks for the long haul, and for do our best to take care of each other outside of work, and the important aspects of life. So probably the number one word that I like to relate to other young entrepreneurs is just hustle. I mean, people frequently come to us and ask, how is this happening? Because the growth is phenomenal, and we are winning a number of awards, and we're super, like I said, we're super humbled by that. But the thing that I just tell them is it's for lack of a better term, it's straight hustle. You literally out hustle the competition. And we have kind of a saying around here, and it's kind of a joke, to be honest with you. It's kind of taken on the form of a joke, but apparently I have a lot of catchphrases, and I'm not aware of these, but my employees are very aware of them. And one of the most frequently heard catchphrases around here, I guess, for me is "make it happen." And that's basically just a mantra for hustling. No excuses. Just get it done with excellence in an expedient manner. And that's what I demand out of myself, and that's what I demand out of we demand out of each other, everyone on the team. And so actually one of our firefighters went so far last year as to create these wristbands that say "Chloeta Fire" on one side and "Make It Happen" on another. And these are a real source of pride actually now within our company for people to have a "Make It Happen" wristband, because it means that they made it happen. And it's just a way that we can encourage each other and just remind each other that there is some motivation behind our madness. So.